All right. I believe we are live. Make sure I get the sounds right. Someone else want to talk really quick? Make sure the volumes are on here.
Hey.
Okay. I can cut this stuff out when I do the audio, so it's good.
Hello, everyone.
All right. Welcome back, everyone, to episode 35. I knew that correctly because last week I said 35 almost by accident, and this week I know it's 35. I screwed up last time. This is a very special episode because we have special guest Jeff, who is rejoining us from wherever Jeff's at. He comes and goes.
Jeff. Hello, everyone.
Jeff, you may look familiar. He's been on a few episodes of the podcast. Jeff's also been featured in the highest viewed link cable video of the top 100 RPGs of all time with a couple thousand viewers now, which is just blows my mind, of a random video we made within 5 minutes of thinking about it. Jeff, you have anywhere you want to plug yourself at? Jeff, you have anything you want to say?
Just kind of doing single player stuff. I don't really plug myself too much, so I'm just glad to be here.
Jeff's so humble. He doesn't care.
Go check out Link Cable Gaming.
There you go. And then we also have special guest Mike from Mike's Nerd Cave, who's a returning guest on the podcast and a newly featured interviewee. And I got to think of a way to say this. I hate saying interviewee. I think I've said that too many times over the last couple podcasts talking about our interviews, but we just finished up recording the deep dive into Mike's life and everything about Mike and his channel. So look forward to seeing that in the next couple of days here.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Yeah, good to have you back. Do you? I would say you want to plug yourself, but I think you're going to plug Mike's Nerd Cave, which I have a lot already. So you can do it again if you feel like.
I think we're good. I know that you said the video will be up tomorrow, guys. So yeah, if you want to check me out, Mike's Nerd Cave on YouTube.
There you go.
Absolutely.
And
check him out.
Last but not least, our returning favorite, Zahi of the Link Cable crew. Welcome, Zahi.
My homie. Hello, Kevin. Good to be back again.
Cool. And we got some crazy stuff to talk about. So structure is a little bit similar, different, but we have two big shows / video thing. I don't even know what they're called anymore because one's just called State of Play for Sony, and I guess that's their name they're going with. Nintendo has their Direct, so that's what they go with. So
yeah.
We got two things coming out. Nothing about Microsoft this week, but Sony had I don't want to say a big showing because that would be a little bit of a lie. And Microsoft had I already said Microsoft again. Nintendo had a long but also not the most exciting presentation in my mind. But we're going to dive into those. I think first, let's just talk about what we've all been doing since, well, I'd say since last week, but it's been a while for Jeff and a little bit longer for Jeff, a little bit a while for Mike. So who wants to go first? Who wants to talk about their current gaming life?
I can go in since I missed out on last week. I had a bit of a cold. That way I can get it out of the way for our two guests.
Yeah.
So because I missed last week, the past essentially 2 weeks have been a roller coaster of playing a lot of PlayStation 5 titles. So I recently got my PlayStation 5 digital, and I've been getting a lot of games that are natively on it and kind of testing it out from the PlayStation 4 to the PlayStation 5, kind of how it's running and what's optimized. The worst offender so far has been my inability to download all of my saves from the cloud. So I wanted to, for example, pick up and continue Metal Gear Solid 5, and I was already halfway through the game, but I'm not able to because it won't download my save, so I'd have to replay everything, and God, that is a long game. Ooh. But yeah, so good though. But playing it on PS5 with just the better textures and the better loading and better resolution is beautiful. The PS5 does a lot of grainy, granular grit really well, and it really highlights I know it sounds weird, but rocks and rock formations look really good. I found when I looked at PlayStation 4, the comparison of it being just a rock to an actual boulder looking thing is great. But what I've been really hyped about is Demon Souls. And God, I could talk about this game all day. It's incredible. I actually have my review out for it. I think it's my highest rated game on Link Cable. Bluepoint really did a phenomenal job with this title. Wow. Everything about it is just so much better. The UI is not my favorite, but just the graphically, sound design, nothing was touched in like the game, or if you have the 2009 version and you compare and contrast, gameplay is technically exactly the same, except for now it's at 60 frames at 4K, and Demon Souls was 2009 was not. But just I feel personally that because of the improved textures, improved graphics, improved sound design, improved quality of the game overall, the camera mode, the more features that are added into Demon Souls, it's technically, because it's a remake, it is not a remake. I feel that's inappropriate. I feel it's actually a remaster, but because it remakes the sound and the UI and the quality of design and the quality of life changes, it technically is a remaster. But it's essentially just this massive like ground to top overhaul, and it's so fine. Oh my god!
What score did you end up giving this in your review?
I gave it a 9.9 because Alex was not gonna take me giving it a 10. But if it could get a 10, it deserves it. Every quality about the game from Demon Souls original is to the nth level of quality. Like Bluepoint did an amazing job. The thing I was worried about, if they kept literally all the same sounds and nothing else. I don't even care about the quality of life, the improvements to world tendency. Nothing but the graphical updates to areas and the atmosphere, it would still probably be +9. But
if I
the biggest worry
game,
I had,
oh man, I would have destroyed that review, and I don't think we'd. It was probably best it was in your hands, I guess, because let's just say I haven't even played the game, and I have the 2009 or 8, whatever year that the first one came out, and I hated that game.
You just need to dive into
it. I trash on Dark Souls 3 and 2, and I thought those were actually pretty good games. I just had a lot of problems with them because of the difficulty, which I know that's supposed to be the whole thing. That's the whole point. That's the hype.
You just need to dive into it, my friend. You just need to take
dived into those games.
Defeat the Vanguard demon or something.
I dive in, and then it's like 3 days later. 3 days later, I'm still fighting the same boss. I've wasted my entire Saturday doing nothing. Like, I get so mad.
But you didn't do nothing.
No, I did. I literally got no further. In my mind, I have to progress, and I have to, like, do something to go forward. If by the end of the day I didn't get anywhere, I feel like crap. I was like, I could have worked out or done something productive instead of nothing in a game. I don't know. Yeah. It's glad you had this review copy. So let me pass this around the room for this, though. What do you guys think of, like, the Dark Souls series, and have any of you actually played this Demon Souls remake remaster of this that he's talking about?
I think the combat is rewarding. I wouldn't give it a 9.9 personally, but it's also not my main style of game that I go for, and that's a big part of that. Is I think the combat's rewarding.
I agree.
I can't spend all day dying, though. So
I get that.
And Jeff,
it's definitely not. It's definitely not an archetype for everyone.
I've never really. I could probably get a lot of flack for this, but I've never actually played any of the Dark Souls games. I tried. I guess I should say I tried Dark Souls 3 for about 2 hours, and I couldn't get past the first boss. And I just said, this game is not fun for me.
Ugh.
And I returned that thing on Steam and never looked back. So I could see how people like it, but it's just, it's not really my kind of game.
Index Gundyr, the first boss in Dark Souls 3, is stupidly hard for where he's at. But there's a version, but he's a fake version of the real character, and you fight him again in the exact same spot, like 80% of the way through the game. And if he gave you trouble in the opening, it's impossiable to beat him later on in the game. It's just his moves.
I want to go down that path.
This sounds just
awful.
But
kicking his ass. And I'll leave it at that.
I feel like that game could just do so much better. Like, I don't want to say this because it doesn't make sense, but if you just had a choice to change the difficulty, like you can make both camps of people happy.
It
We
would
can
not
make you
be
happy,
Demon Souls.
but
would
you
not
can
be
make you
Souls.
happy and can make me happy. I just give it to me at my level. I mean, it makes no difference.
It is not meant for that.
But why not? Why
It's-
can't it be?
it's-
Why can't there just be one that has the boss has a little less health and hits a little less harder? Why can't that? And you can play it
There
on super
are-
crazy
there are
difficulty.
spells. So you can choose different spells and different items and different things that could maybe beef you up for him. But the game is meant to be a punishingly rewarding archetype. So it's not meant to handhold. Demon Souls came
I'm not
out,
even talking
man,
about hand
in
holding. I'm just talking
2009
about
when-
not backstabbing.
No,
there's
but
there's hand holding down here, and then we pass difficult, possibly difficult. People are good at it, and then down here, far, far away, after you take a canoe and 6 road trips away, is punishingly difficult. It's just so bad.
It is.
Because everything you described about Demon
Souls
Souls,
came out-
the world, the rocks, everything about it, I want to do that, but I can't do
Rocks
it.
are so nice.
I agree, and I want to see it. But I don't want to spend
Rocks.
$70 to just try a game for 3 days and never beat anything. Like it just it makes me mad because if they offered some type of handicap for people who just aren't good at it, like you're just basically saying this game's not for you. You don't want to play it, and I guess that's fine.
The true Dark Souls begins.
They're free to do whatever they want, but man, they don't want my money bad enough. I guess I don't know. Anyways, what else did you play outside of Demon Souls?
No, that was it. My boys, give it up.
And that was all on the first boss too. Just kidding.
I'm literally stuck on the first boss right now. I'm like, I can't get past this shit.
Oh jeez. All right. Mike, you want to go next?
Sure, yeah. So this week, I mean, I always have Rocket League. I feel like you've heard me say that probably 300 times in any conversation we've had. So I play and stream that. But then today I got back into Pokemon Shield because I haven't finished it, and I want to finish it because I want to be able to talk about it on my channel when comparing it to the other games. And the beginning of that game is so tough for me to get through because they want to hold your hand every 5 seconds, and it's like okay, and there's one specific part I always go back to. It's like you get into the first town, you walk to the gym, and they're like, okay, this is the final gym, you can't do anything here. So this person says, okay, go next door to this inn and check in. You walk out of the gym, they're standing there, they say, okay, the inn is this way, go there and check in. You're like, okay, you just told me that, but yeah, sure. You walk to the inn, which is one building away. The same person has just walked ahead of you to stand there, stop your progress, and say, hey, this is the inn, go in and check in.
What a perfect game to
And
talk
then you
to.
walk
That's
inside, and a different person
completely
stops you and
opposite
says, you
of
should
Demon
go over there
Souls.
and check in. So that made me not want to play the game for a while. But I've gotten back into it. I've beaten the first couple of gyms. I had a ton of fun streaming it today. It's a super easy game to stream and interact with the people in chat and stuff. So I think I'm gonna have a good time doing that. So that was my main 2 games I played this week.
Nice.
Pretty cool.
Nice. It reminds me of the first Nino Kuni was really hand-holdy like that, and it drove me crazy for I was like halfway through the game, and he's like, okay, this is how you attack. I'm like, Drippy, go away.
We just did this. It's funny though that we bring up these things right after talking about Demon Souls, and the opposite end of it is if a game is too handholdy, I do think it also does take away from it. There's a perfect balance I feel like that some people want. I mean, some people might love the handholdy, like children or someone who's not a big gamer. Like if my sister is playing Pokemon, which I think she has Pokemon Shield, I'm sure she appreciated that because she may not know, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do in a Pokemon game or in any game. This is how mechanics work, and this is what you would do. But it sucks.
Our level of gaming at our point is so much higher that that kind of stuff is just grating.
Yeah, it is just okay, we don't need to do this, but
like a skip button.
I think even with even if I was 7, I don't need to be stopped every 3 steps I take to be told the same thing though. You can tell me once, I'm okay with that. But don't stop me 3 times within 3 minutes to tell me the same thing. That's where I think It's even insulting to a 5-year-old almost.
I was watching your stream, and you guys should have seen how like salty he would get. He's like, "All right, I know exactly where to go. I've already been told. I'm already walking there." Then like a big fluff ball rolls into you. You're like, "Okay, I know it. Now I'm being stopped again. Like, I just want to make it to the gym because I want to stop the stream because I need to go do things." It's just so funny.
Oh, it was fun. I tried to make fun of it instead of like
acting
salty with it. I was having a good time, and it made it a lot better actually. It was way more fun to play that way.
It's true. It's true.
Nice.
Okay, Jeff, what about you?
So I always kind of sprinkle in Hearthstone throughout the month. If anyone plays Hearthstone, I got to Diamond 3.
Wow.
So I was pretty close to Legend. I thought about pushing to Legend this month, and then I had to go do adult things like grocery shopping and stuff like that. So maybe next month I'll try to make the push.
Grocery shopping taking you away from Legends.
Aside from that, though, which is pretty normal, Kevin actually loaned me Trials of Mana on the Switch, and I didn't really think much of the game. I was kind of like, okay, this game looks kind of, I don't know, the graphics are kind of bad and the voice acting's cringy, but I just couldn't put that stupid game down. I don't even know why.
So addicting. I had the same problem.
Like, I don't even know why I want to play this. And then I actually just beat it this morning. And
Congrats.
Thank you. And then there was an epilogue. And the similar thing happened to me with Dragon Quest XI when I beat that. There was also an epilogue in that one. And I had to like force myself to put the game down. Like, okay, I'm not doing this epilogue. I don't need this. I've had enough of this game already. I'm just going to put it away. So, yeah, I've been sinking so much time into that game. I think it took me about 30 hours, which was a little longer than I thought, but it was pretty fun. And then I actually booted up Cyberpunk this morning.
Whoa.
And
Beauty!
Within 10 minutes, I couldn't move my character. So that was fun. I had to reboot the game. So that's haven't played in about a month, so I felt right at home.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So
has it like improved at all? Like anything, man?
They had that
Come on.
they were supposed to come out with, but then they got hacked, so that got delayed. So I guess it really hasn't done much.
Is that just an inside thing, just to make excuses why they're still not getting stuff done?
Who knows?
Maybe they're like, quick, someone put our password all over Reddit so someone can hack us. We can just say we had to get hacked.
Now we can be like, oh, sorry guys, we haven't updated it. We can't finish it till 2023 now.
2023.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
Why did this game even launch?
That's
investors.
I can't wait for like another like 8-9 months when like they end up putting a documentary about this whole thing out, because like those are the kind of documentaries I'd love to watch on Netflix that pop up and they say exactly what happened. It's like you get the deep details and they interview people there, and it's got, you know, intense music, and they make it seem like a really big deal when it kind of is, but like they make it seem life or death. So
it'll be called like Disaster Punk 2020.
Yeah, like something like that. Then they'll have all these people they interview that are just like influencers that like think they know everything about the topic. I can't wait.
I want them to call it Cyberpunked and have Ashton Kutcher.
All right, guys, Ashton, come on out. You got me. That would be perfect. That should be our new podcast we do. We'll do another podcast. Just call it Cyberpunked, and we just talk about fails, video game fails.
Video game fails.
That's great. So backing up a little bit, you talked about Trials of Mana. Have either of you guys played the Trials of Mana game? So I gave it to Jeff to play because I already played through it, and I really enjoyed it. What about you guys?
I haven't, but that's up there as one I really, really want to play.
It's a good short game. Zahi, you said you played it?
When I was like really small with my cousin, and I have a good memory with good stories, and it was just when I was too young. But it is still a fantastic game. It's like so old that I can't remember the details about the story, like Earthbound, but I remember it, and it is a fantastic game.
So you played the
really
original, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
It
remade it.
Yeah, Jeff played the remake. That's what we're talking
3D.
about.
Yeah.
I would love to play the remake to actually now, as like an adult, play the game and actually understand what the heck's going on. You know what I mean?
It still doesn't make sense.
Yeah, the story's nothing to write home about, at least from when I played it. But I more like the simplicity and like the combat and the pick up and play Like I could just kind of sit there and like grind out some enemies and just grow some levels, and they did a good job of making you feel like you got more powerful as the game went on and like getting more abilities. Because I started off as like there's a mage girl you could pick, and I started off as her, and like I didn't even have a single spell to cast, and I'm sitting here going, I'm playing a mage, and I'm sitting here whacking these things with my wand. Like,
I remember that
what
too.
the hell did I do? And then, like, by the end of the game, I'm sitting here destroying things with like beams of light coming down from the sky and like lightning bolts and earthquakes and stuff. So like they did like a really good job of kind of starting off making you feel weak and then like building you up, and all while having like there's not a ton of in-depth systems or like not a ton of armors and like all these different things that you usually get with RPGs. It's a very simple like pick up, you grow some levels, you get a couple stat points to distribute, you evolve your characters, and then you just kind of keep moving on. So like it really did fit a good it scratched a good itch for me, I guess. So thank you, Kevin.
You're welcome.
Similar to like Pokemon or another one, I think that'd be a good one for just anyone to stream, which is kind of why it's on my list.
Yeah, it's easy.
Yep.
It's fun. You guys should play.
Not like Dark Souls, we gotta like focus.
Oh man, I cannot stream when I play Dark Souls or the Souls games.
I don't even know how you breathe while you play that game. You have to have the amount of focus.
I don't.
Yeah, my feet are sweating.
I know. Everything be sweating on me. I'm the pit stains down me.
When did this
all the streamers are like, "Are you okay?"
Sweating? I was like, I'm not used to this area of me producing sweat. What is happening?
Why
here?
does my ear have sweat?
Under your thumbnail. It's crazy.
It's really honestly true.
Oh my god. All right. Anything else there, Jeff, for your catch up in gaming?
No, I mean the Cyberpunk a little. I dabbled in some Valhalla, which I haven't gotten too into yet. I'm only like a couple hours in, but that's been mostly it.
Okay, fun. All right, so I have a lot to talk about this week, and I don't want to spend too long, so I'm gonna go quick. And I was hoping Alex would be here, and hopefully he's either watching live or listens later because
wait, Kevin, I did have one more.
Oh,
I think you're gonna touch on it.
Okay.
Hitman.
Oh yeah, give us your quick 2 seconds. So I'll set Jeff up to actually talk about it because I am going to talk about that too. So we've been doing the Link Cable monthly game club, and then we have a discussion about every month. One of us picks a game that we kind of all agree to just play it and kind of force each other to play something we probably wouldn't have played. So the first month we did was Inside. We had a discussion about that. Our second month,
love Inside.
Yep, the second month we did. We just finished for February was Hat in Time, and that video. We had to push it a little bit because Steve's been out of town, but as soon as he's back, we will be recording that. And then for March, the game that is actually Steve's pick is Hitman 1 from 2016. I think that's the one.
Yeah, 2016.
Like when they rebooted it again, and they have like a trilogy right now. So, Jeff, you want to talk about that now? You just said you started playing it?
Yeah, so I got through the like prologue mission, and then I did the first 2 of 6. Mission, so I'm almost halfway through. It's very interesting. I really think they did a good job, like giving you so many different ways to tackle killing one person.
Mm-hmm.
And they did kind of like as I'm walking through crowds, I kind of like I roleplay walk slowly through, and I feel all cool. Like I don't want to like give myself away or something or do something weird. So they did a really good job of like setting the scene and making you feel like you're part of it. But then on the other side of it is more of like a me thing, kind of like how it is with Demon Souls. Like I don't like having to like figure out all this stuff. I kind of want something to guide me a little bit and tell me, go here, go do this. So luckily they do have an opportunities system in the game, which will kind of give you some hints and guide you a little bit. But sometimes I felt like I've done some of those things and then it just kind of feels fruitless. Like one time I had to make a cocktail, I had to poison a cocktail for one of the guys I was trying to kill. And then the guy just sat like super far away and then never even came up to the bar. So I'm like, man, I wasted all this time getting this recipe and doing stuff, and then nothing came of that. But it is fun, especially if you want to like try to tackle at different angles, or even it has actually decent replayability for only having like 6 missions, because you can just do these things so many different ways. So it's overall cool. I don't know if it's like I'm a huge fan of like the game itself just because of the way you have to go about stuff, but I think like independently I could see why people would definitely think this is like a cool game.
Nice. Cool. So yeah, I'll piggyback off that. I did start playing that as well. You're playing that on the Epic Game Store, right? Is that what you have it on
Yeah,
PC? Okay.
I got it for free on Epic.
Yep, and I got it for free from PlayStation Plus from a while back. And if you own the game digitally and then you buy Hitman 3 on PS5, you're able to import your, I don't know if it's your saves or just the game itself, like the levels that are from the first one. Because the whole, like, they're all like episodes. I think that was how they released a lot of this stuff back then.
Yeah.
So at least the first game I know was like that. I don't know if the second one was like that. The third one isn't, because I know you can buy the whole game. But you're able to import those levels from the first one and the second one into the third one. So when I put my third disc in and I lost,
really interesting.
Yeah, so when I launch Hitman 3, I can play the levels from the first one and play through the story and whatever there. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm not 100% sure if it's like up-resed or what they did. And I mean, it looks incredible on my PS5. So if this was on the PS4 and it looked that way, that's great. But I'm sure there's something going on. But
it doesn't look bad on the PC either. Like,
that's good.
For being a game that's, I mean, maybe 4 or 5 years old. Like,
right.
I have a good rig, so that might help, but I don't have any issue with the graphics.
Okay. Yeah. It runs great on PS5 too, so overall it just looks good, even for an older game.
Yeah.
The one thing that I did find difficult was actually getting the import to come in. There is when I looked it up online to see how to do this, oh my god, was it confusing. There's like...
PS5, man, is so confusing.
So
you were reading me the directions, and I'm like...
I didn't get it at all. It's like
trying to defuse a bomb or something.
Well, because most people that were trying to do this have the PlayStation Plus free one, so you have to download the first game, the PS4 version on your PS5, go in the game, launch it, have something in there like a save file, then go to the PS5 version. Then you have to purchase a free item from the store for the Game of the Year edition, but you get it for free because it sees the file on your account and on your hard drive. And then you have to go back to the... I don't know. It took me way too long to figure it out. So the game itself, I played through the prologue and a little bit of the first level. I don't have tons to say yet, and I know we'll talk about during the discussion, so I don't want to give too much away anyways. But it is a different game that I would never have played if Steve didn't pick this as his. But I'm glad I'm playing it, though, because I do think I'm going to start playing through the second one and the third one. It is pretty cool. Have either of you played the Hitman series at all?
I played Hitman before Hitman was like the new series, the 1, 2, 3.
Okay, I never even touched it then.
Yeah, I played the older style, the like top down.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So
Yep.
Okay, so let me jump and now fast forward back to, or rewind back to what I was saying about Alex. I have a lot of show and tell today, so that's why I wanted Alex to see this. So hopefully he does watch. Yesterday, my wife and I were like, I want to get out of the house. I've been sitting inside. It's been finally getting kind of nice weather around here. There's a couple like video game stores that have opened up. There's 2 at least around me that I wanted to see, and then another one that's a little bit further away that's actually closer to Jeff. And I follow them on Facebook. They're always posting used video games and all these different things on it. I'm like, I just want to go look. So took a 25-30 minute drive, and we go to this place, and there's just games everywhere, and it's just like my heaven. It's just like so much nerd shit all over the place. There's game guides, there's books, there's controllers, like everything you need. And then the guy comes up to me and goes, hey man, there's 2 more rooms after this one. I'm like, oh shit, there's more. And I go through it all. So I end up getting this pack of stuff. So I ended up getting a few things there, which I'm going to show you guys. And then I went to another one that just opened up right by my house. I got a few things there. And then I went to another one that was a little bit further away. Got some stuff there. So I'm going to show you everything I got. And then I'm going to end up with one thing that made me mad. So I have like all this shit on my desk, you guys. So I ended up just going through. I for some reason really like finding old 360 games that are like games that I never really played or touched. And there's a game called Enslaved. I think it's Enslaved Odyssey to the West. I've seen this game before.
I love Enslaved.
Really? I've heard about it, but I didn't know much about it like at all.
It's so good.
Everyone, like, the reviews I saw online were like, it's a good game with a really cool story. It's based off of something with Marvel, cool I guess.
Story. I've never heard of it.
A comic created by Marvel.
Enslaved Odyssey to the West?
Yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It's supposed to be a good story, and they had it for $6. I'm like, you know what? I'll give it a try for $6.
It's like Horizon Zero Dawn, essentially.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if this one's backwards compatible with the Xbox or not, because some of these were and some weren't that I was a little bit upset about. So I ended up breaking out my 360 to try these discs out because I only have like 6 days or 7 days to return them to make sure. But then I'll get into that in a second. So I picked up that game. I picked up Army of Two, the Devil's Cartel, which I thought was the second Army of Two game, but then I was wrong. There's actually another one that came out that I missed, so I actually messaged them today, and they have a copy, and I'm going to be buying that, and that was $6. I got this one for $10. I don't know if you guys have ever played the Army of Two series, but it's like a super fun co-op, like third-person shooter game. I don't know, the second and third one may be terrible, because probably why they weren't very big, but I figured this is... I'm always looking for like co-op games when friends come over to play something like this. Another game that was not backwards compatible, though, on the Xbox One, which made me a little upset. Both the second and third one, and I think the first one, too. Then they randomly had all the Final Fantasy 13 related games, and I just ended up just buying them all. So I got...
Oh, nice!
I got... I don't know anything about Final Fantasy 13 because I never played this one at all. So I got 13, 13-2, and then Lightning something. Lightning Returns is what it's called. I don't know. They were all pretty cheap, too.
Lightning Returns.
So I've never played these. I'm like slowly getting into Final Fantasy more and more as I get older. As I was younger, the only Final Fantasy I ever played was 10 and 10-2. But I keep saying I'm playing through 12, or is it 12? Yeah, I think 12 is when I'm playing. I haven't switched, but it's one of those games I play like a little bit every couple months. So I'll be done with that by the time I'm 50. And then I'll start these, so that'll be great. And these ones are all backwards compatible and do get up-resed to 4K, I believe, on the Xbox Series X and Xbox One X, I think. Okay, going fast. I'm getting closer to being done. Then I picked up this game called Extinction, which I do remember hearing about. It didn't review very well, but the reviews I remember seeing did say there was some fun to be had. And it is kind of a weird game that no one really talks about and didn't have, and it was $7. So I was like, you know what, I'll give that a shot. That's an Xbox One game.
It's not bad.
And then this game that I had never heard of before called Elex, E-L-E-X. I know it's so bad to see on here. This game's on Steam too, and I think on PS4 as well. This game is awesome.
Never heard of it.
I had not either, and I looked online. I watched some reviews for it. It's like an action open world RPG that looks kind of like Fable, kind of BioWare, like Jade Empire type game where you get a party, you explore a world. The few people that reviewed it said that there's a lot of magic in this game and a lot of heart, but it does take a little while to get going. That I think turned people off a lot. But he said as soon as you get past the first 2 hours or so, like you really do feel like you are in this world, and it is really well done and magical. But the reviews are not great because I don't think people had I think the beginning was a big turnoff. So I put it in. I put all these discs into the whatever system it would work on, 360, Xbox One, just to see if they worked. And I ended up playing this for like 15 minutes, and I actually really like the beginning of it, and I want to play more of it, but I'm trying to not dive into another game right now as I'm about to talk about another one.
Got mostly really positive on Steam. Yeah.
Does it have positive on Steam?
Yeah, mostly positive.
As you both go right there. Yeah, I didn't look on Steam. I just looked on YouTube because I was in the store just Googling it, trying to figure out what. I'm like, is it worth? I think I paid what, $7? I paid $8.95 for it. Like that's not too bad. How much is it on Steam?
A lot.
Yeah.
Really?
It's $50.
Wow. Shoot, I'll take it for $9 then.
Not bad, Alex. Or not bad, Kevin.
See, I'm doing show and tell. I think it's Alex.
Not bad. Not bad, Alex.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
They put out a lot of, I would say, decent stuff. They don't really have any, like, one amazing game out there that I can think of off the top of my head. I feel like a lot of their games are like that notch below. You know?
Yeah.
They make a lot of
B tier type
great
games.
but no, I can't think of like one amazing game they've made.
If anyone,
that
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say just the one that pops in my head. Actually, they originally made the SpongeBob Race for Bikini Bottom or whatever. That platformer that actually just got remastered like last year.
That's right.
Yeah, they made that originally. I remember playing that when I was little and loving it.
Cool.
I was gonna say if anyone's interested to buy it on Steam, it looks like it goes on sale for like $12.49. So
okay.
It can get it for a decent price.
Well, yeah, I would. I mean, I put it on my Xbox One. It looked great. It ran great. So I'm wondering if the Xbox Series X does anything for it because I know random games sometimes have it. So I got to try it on there. Okay, so most of the games aside, then I came across the guidebook section in this place, and I'm a sucker for damn guidebooks. I don't know why. Usually I can usually
guidebooks.
Yeah, but all of a sudden they had a bunch of hardcover ones, and they're like collector edition ones with like pictures and stuff. Ooh. And I love this shit, so I bought quite a few. So first off, I've got the Hitman Absolution. It was $5. Well, $5.95, so it's a little more than $5. But it's brand like when I open it, you can hear the spine creaking. It's brand new, and it has tons of artwork from the game and all the maps and challenges. And I have Hitman Absolution. And, you know, as I'm playing with all these, like, 360 games and stuff, I'm like, you know what? I have it on 360. This would be fun to... I always envision this day where I'm just going to pull the 360 out and I've set it up and I just relive these old games. And I'm going to get into that because I'm actually doing it. I'm living this dream right now, and I'm really enjoying it. So I got the book for that, hardcover. It's pretty big.
Living the dream.
I just love putting this stuff on display, too. So that's basically all I bought it for, is, like, show off to people like I'm cool. Then I got the Assassin's Creed Brotherhood Collector's Edition, which is a game I really enjoyed. Another hardcover. All these are hardcover. Brand new. It still has like the world map that came in it, the Collector's Edition stuff. It has a ton of artwork, and then it has, you know, like the artwork for all the characters. It goes through the game guide and all the places. No, I'm not going to go back and play this game because I've already played it, but I thought it was kind of cool. And the artwork is just awesome. On the cover, it's like textured. I don't know. Getting myself excited.
You need to get like a big coffee table in your basement and
put all these books there. I think that'd be so fun. So then it doesn't stop there. Then I picked up the Assassin's Creed Unity Guidebook Collector's Edition. This one I think was $10, and I was willing to pay a little bit more because I'm actually playing Unity right now. A few years ago, I decided to start playing through the series because I never played Assassin's Creed. So I started with the first one, I went to second, I did Brotherhood, I did Revelations, and I'm all the way up into Unity right now. So I'm definitely going to be using this book, let alone that it's got like a nice soft cover, like cover on the hardcover, brand new again. I still have the big map you can pull out for the collector's edition. And I found these books online. They were actually kind of expensive, so I couldn't believe they were selling them for $10.
Yeah,
or
man,
$5 some of them.
Yes. The old books are pricey nowadays.
Look up like the old Pokemon strategy guides, and they're like $100.
It's kind of crazy. Okay, so then, following the theme, then they had the Origins book, the collector's edition, also brand new. I couldn't believe it, and I have Origins and all the DLC, and I know I'm going to play it. I just have to get through Unity and Syndicate, and then I'll jump into Origins. But it looks so cool. Like the artwork on... What's that?
Black Flag?
No,
did you already play that?
I did play Black Flag. They didn't have it, though. I wish they had Black Flag, because that's one of my favorite ones of all the Assassin's Creed. I bought all of them. The only one they had left was I forget which one it was, and I didn't. Maybe I did buy it. I don't even remember because Brotherhood was when I was like, I don't know if I need it, but I was like $5. Sure, I'm buying this. Am I crazy? Moving on. Then they had the hardcover for Odyssey.
Oh, here we go.
And I was like, yeah. Jeff, you talk about this game being just incredible, and I was like, I think it would be so nice to have
that game.
But like the artwork, like even just the cover on it is just so impressive. Like, if I know these games can be a little repetitive and people don't love it, but the artwork and just what they put into it is just incredible. So to just have these to kind of look through is just, even if I touch them, I don't know, but I love it. All right, and then there's two more of these. I'm almost done, guys. I'm sorry. So those were all at one store, right? All of those at the same place. And that's where I bought most of those 360 games and stuff. So I bought the Final Fantasies and stuff at it. So then I go to the next store after I buy Final Fantasy 13, and guess what book I find on the shelf? The guidebook for Final Fantasy 13. I was like, it's a sign. So I had to buy that. That was $5. It's in incredible condition. It's not hardcover for this one, but I definitely, for these type of games, need the guidebook. I'm playing 12, like I said, on Switch, and I had to buy the guidebook for that because I kept getting lost of where the hell to go. And then I go to one final store, and guess what guidebook they have? I couldn't believe it.
13-2.
What's that?
13-2?
No, I wish. Enslaved.
That was my guess.
The guidebook for Enslaved.
Oh, hey.
And I was like, I don't really need this because I'm sure this game's pretty straightforward. But I was like, well, you know what? For $4.90, I'll buy it just because it seems to be like, if I bought the game at the last store and this store has it, for whatever reason, this random-ass game. So I picked that up too. So I got a crap ton of guidebooks and some games I'm pretty excited to play. So tying this all in to my gaming now, hopefully I'm not boring everybody. I decided to I had my 360 out, and I've been meaning to pull it out because the kind of like what I did for the Assassin's Creed franchise, I want to do with the Batman Arkham series, right? Well, I have Batman Arkham Asylum on 360. I have the like special Game of the Year edition that comes literally with a pair of 3D glasses, which is just sick. Ridiculous because they have a 3D mode in the game. You put these on, which I'm not doing. But it's not backwards compatible. So as soon as I got my Xbox One in 2013, I couldn't play this anymore. And then I kind of put away the 360s as I got my Xbox Series X, or my Xbox One X and my Series X, and all. It's gone, and I can't play these games. And the reason why it's not backwards compatible is because of they released a new version on the Xbox One, which came with this one and the sequel. So I ended up today, this is what I did most of the day playing game-wise, is I played through the latter half of Batman Arkham Asylum, and I'm on the second to last section of the game, so I'm almost done. It was funny loading up a save file from July of 2012, and I knew exactly where I was at because I remember I could not beat this part.
Jesus.
I played that part for another hour and a half today.
Almost 10 years ago.
Isn't that crazy? And I remembered where I was at too. Like it just kind of came back. It took me a minute to get the controls, but I gotta say, playing a 360 game, it looks pretty good. I kept thinking, I was like, I gotta like sell the graphics down. Don't think it being. And I'm wondering if I trained myself with the Switch lately on some of the shit that the Switch puts out that I could just play through because it's handheld or whatever.
Trials of Mana.
Yeah, it looks terrible, but it was great playing on my couch, without a TV handheld. So I was pretty impressed.
Came out on the 360.
What's that?
And it's still a game everyone plays. So
which game?
GTA 5.
Oh yeah, GTA 5. Yeah, Drew.
Heck yeah.
Oh yeah, I have the 360 version. I literally thought about putting that in just to look at it and see what it looks like because I have that on PC and Xbox One too, and it looks pretty good on those. So yeah, I played through that game and I'm excited to finish it up. And then I actually have Batman Arkham City on Xbox 360, but I also have it on computer. And part of me is just like, I kind of want to play it on 360. Like I'm really enjoying these I don't know, nostalgia of playing on
retro.
Like I don't know what it is retro to me because like I remember growing up, people played retro games and I wasn't interested in Pong and stuff because I had no nostalgia factor with it or memories. Now playing on my 360 to me that was like a majority of my life that cycle of that console was out, and it seems like comforting. I don't know. Mm-hmm. And the very, very, very last thing, I promise, I know I'm going super, super long on this. I'm pissed and I'm mad at Game Crazy because they screwed me over 10 years ago, and I have to publicly say this online.
This is a 10-year-old grudge, by the way.
Yes. So grudge. I told these two guys about it before, so Jeff, you're here about it first time. I went to the game store and I saw that they had, when I was shopping around, they had the Ultimate Alliance Gold Edition on Xbox 360, which is the first of the Ultimate Alliance like top-down games that they would make. And you buy the original, you can buy DLC characters for it, and then they came out with this Gold Edition that had all the 8 DLC characters included in it, right? Well, Activision and I guess Disney with Marvel, they cut ties and they're no longer allowed to sell those DLC characters or sell the game digitally, right? You could only have it physically. So the Gold Edition became very expensive and hard to find because it's the only way to get the DLC characters, right? Jeff, following? I'm basically talking to you here.
Okay.
So the store I was at had it for like $150 or something like that. And I was like, I think I have this game. And I was all excited. So I went home and lo and behold, I pull out, if it focuses a little bit, the Gold Edition of Ultimate Alliance. Right. Well, hold on. I never actually played this game because I had already have it on the Wii, which is a actually different version of the game because they made it kind of specially for the Wii. So I bought this thinking I would play it one day with my future children or something because it's a fun co-op game. I paid $22.49 because I was in the MVP Game Crazy Club. And I opened it up to put the disc in, and they gave me the disc for the regular Ultimate Alliance. I don't have the Gold Edition disc. They screwed me over. Ooh. I could have a game that's worth like $200 right now, and instead I have the one that's worth like $7. So I'm pretty salty about that. I was like, yesterday I was moping around all day, and my wife was just like, what's wrong? I'm like, I got screwed. I should have looked at this. I don't know why. And I had no idea because like I looked on eBay and I can see the ones they're selling it says Gold Edition on the disc because I didn't know. Maybe they just didn't do it. I don't know. It's not something I would ever know. I just got swindled. So yeah.
Oh man,
I've been pretty salty.
Is Game
about
Crate
that.
even around for you to get mad at them anymore?
I don't think so. I think I got my just desserts or whatever it's called. My revenge is them like going out of business.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
R.I.P. But yeah, that was my week in gaming, and most of it happened over the last like day. Mostly just playing Hitman throughout the week, and that's basically it. So, all right, guys,
Nice.
Thank you for letting me get that all out. I was so excited to share this stuff, just because like I like buying things, and when I find them for really cheap prices and hardcover books, I just thought it was great.
No, I think like those hardcover books are really cool. I mean, it's hard to find like, especially those older ones, like good quality ones like
they're
that.
brand new. I
For
was looking
that
on
cheap, like that's crazy.
I kept looking on Amazon, seeing if like when I was in the store, and like I was like, if it's more than it is on Amazon, I'm not gonna get it. But the Amazon prices are like $60 to $70 on some of them, and I was like, shoot, that's not bad.
Like, you guys got 2 more in the back? Can I?
Yeah, I know. They had the Skyward Sword book as well, and I was like, oh, that would be cool to have the hardcover, but it was $40. I was like, nah, that one I can just go on YouTube and look it up.
Yeah.
So
I only have a few.
I was
books.
like,
I used to have all of these, and I wish I had saved them. So I want to try and get them if I can find them cheap at stores. But all of the Pokemon ones, I would love to have.
I have quite a few of them. They had some there at Pokemon ones, but they were the ones I had already.
I think all mine are like at my parents' house.
I just love having them.
The most recent one I can think of is probably my brother and I bought an Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind book, and we used that book like crazy.
Wow.
That game was just so big.
Yeah.
It was paperback. I think it was pretty thick.
I had the Oblivion one that we just kept. It was huge. We used to call it the Bible, and that's what me and some of my friends would always be like, "Oh, did you bring the Bible when we played together?" I'm like, "I got it right here." And it was just huge textbook of like info. I remember,
like, guys, time for church, and then you pull out the Bible.
I used to read that for fun. Like, that's how much of a nerd I was. Like, I remember like that was like my bathroom read that I'd put in like the little like basket of books next to the toilet my parents had. I'm not even kidding.
One of my best gaming memories was, I remember like I had just gotten Silver, Pokemon Silver.
Mm-hmm.
And like I really wanted. I always liked having the strategy guides because they also had you could keep track of what Pokemon you had. And just like everything done in the game.
Yeah.
And I really wanted it. And one day I like started helping my mom carry the groceries in. You know, a little, like, I don't know how old I was then. I was probably in like the 3rd or 4th grade or something. And I'm like helping her carry these bags. And in one of the bags, she's like, "Oh wait, no, you can't hold that one." And I remember catching like just the glimpse of. Lugia, like the shine of the book and Lugia on it, and that image is still like stuck with me. I remember how excited, like I didn't say out loud that I saw it, but how excited, because I knew she had gotten me the strategy guide. It was like a couple days before Christmas.
Hey.
Christmas, and
that's awesome.
That's
now your groceries are just boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, now groceries are like, yep, there's the butter and cheese.
Another pound of meat.
Okay, so let's transition away from our week in gaming and go to the big news this week. And it's basically 2 stories, and they're both the 2 showings like I talked about at the top of the show. And we're going to go in order of what was shown first, which I believe is Nintendo. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Correct.
And I'm going to just start doing some quick recaps and talking about stuff. And then if anyone wants to say something about it, just jump in. So up first, we have the very beginning of the Nintendo Direct, which just popped out with oh shoot, I have the wrong thing here. What was the date of it?
That was technically last week. It was the Thursday before last.
Because
this week's State of Play was Monday, and the Pokemon Presents was Friday.
Okay, here we go. I'm trying to find the one trying to see what they talked about, because I opened it and it's talking about Smash characters. I'm like, wait, that's not the right one. That's what we talked before. Okay, so this was how long was this one? I'm trying to see the time on it. I don't see it.
So the Pokemon,
the Pokemon one,
and the State of Play were this week.
Yep. Yeah, the Pokemon Presents was about 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Yep. I just opened YouTube.
Was on Monday or Tuesday, I think.
And that one
was a half hour.
About
was
20 minutes or
Let's
so.
go through the State of Play then.
I'm going through Pokemon first because that one was first. And I just got it. So the first thing they jumped in, I just found the right article I was looking for. They talk about Pokemon Snap, which, yay, we all know it's coming. They showed a little bit more for it. I don't think there was much more than just like a video and just promoting what they've already announced, which is not a big deal.
So they It did say new Pokemon Snap that will be released on Nintendo Switch on April 30th. And it's also including some new features, including tools, photo editing, and more. And some of the changes can make Pokemon glow and change their elemental effects.
Yeah,
Does anyone else feel like that game was cool back when we were little on N64, and now it just looks super boring?
No,
I
am I just being a weirdo? Disagree. I mean, you might be because you're not a Pokemon guy. Like, you don't play a lot of the games. Not really.
But what was that game you hated where you take pictures of animals, Bug Snacks? You couldn't stand that game.
That wasn't about. That's not what that game was at all. You were just like that was an element of it. I didn't even play it because the game, like, maybe if that was Pokemon, I might like. Maybe the Pokemon factors was making me like this, but.
Okay, I mean, maybe I'm missing the mark here.
I think I'm not trying to say. Sorry, Mike. One sec. I keep saying stuff and then I lose my train of thought because I have like 4 screens with different moving images and I can't focus. No, Jeff, I think you've just been out of the Pokemon game for a while since you haven't really played a lot of Pokemon games. I think if you started to kind of dive into this stuff, like Mike's playing Sword and Shield and stuff right now on stream and playing Platinum and all this, I think like being in the world does get you excited for it. So being able to play Snap with nostalgia and Pokemon because it's relevant in my life, I think that's what gets me excited. So I don't know, maybe. And Mike, what were you saying now before I cut you off?
Will my Switch people buy? Oh yeah, Mike, sorry about that.
No, it's all good. I was gonna say I don't know if I'm all that excited for it or not. I liked the original as a kid. It was fun to play with my friends and stuff. But part of that was that it was so unique. Yeah, the time period then.
Yeah.
They had the kiosks at Blockbuster where you could go and print these off.
That was so cool.
Like you couldn't playing games online wasn't a thing back then. Where now it's so easy to share things to the internet and do all of that. And
yeah, it had that novelty.
I don't know if it's going to have the same effect to just take a picture and share it to the
novelty.
Everyone else can, where before it was like you could get them to do this cool thing, like there was a whole Magikarp swim down the river, dive into the waterfall, and it shoots out as a Gyarados. And if you got that picture, like that was so cool.
That they need to do that.
I do wonder if exactly what you're saying though is like that was like magical when because you heard about that from word of mouth and your friends at school.
Word of mouth.
Now
it's like
a picture to school and it's cool. Like
now it's
on Twitter.
Yeah, now you look online, it tells you exactly how to do it. So I don't know.
Just like 10 TikToks of Gyarados or something.
Right.
Yeah. So that's why I don't know if I'm really that excited for that one. I think it'll be fun. I think.
Are you gonna get it? That's at launch. Is this a game you're gonna buy?
I don't know if I'll get it right at launch, but I'm sure I'll get it at some point.
Okay.
Within the next year.
Yeah.
Okay. I probably will get it at launch I'm probably the most excited for this just because it's something about it. I don't know why. It is stupid. Like if any other series tell me I'm taking pictures of things in the wild, I would be like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But now all of a sudden I'm looking at Pokemon and I'm catching Chikorita. I'm like, oh shit, like that's something I want to do. I don't know why. It's weird. Okay, so moving past that, then they I think did they go right into the remake?
Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl.
They like took a quick minute where they just kind of recapped this year's stuff, talking about Pokemon Cafe, Pokemon Home, and they talked about very briefly about some of the other things in the DLC that they already did for Sword and Shield, but some of the other things coming, like the max raid battles. Right now you can get a Pikachu if you typed in the code that they showed off during the event. You can get a Pikachu that knows Sing, which is just super rare. It's not that useful.
I was like, that doesn't sound very good.
To what you were about to get into, so I'll let you continue. I just figured out it.
No, that's fine. Yeah, they talked about some Pokemon Go stuff. And I had an article that I was trying to find, and I thought I copied it in here, and I copied the wrong article. I copied the article from the Nintendo Direct last week, so I opened it up. I'm like, what the heck? That's not what I was looking at. Yeah, the Pokemon Go stuff doesn't really interest me because I don't play that very much anymore, if at all, really. But I saw that they were bringing the birds back again, and there was, stuff people I'm sure are excited about.
Trying to bring the Jet Runners in with nostalgia.
Yep, there you go. So then the next big piece that I really want to talk about is the Diamond and Pearl remake, which everybody was rumoring and saying, oh, that's what it's going to be. It's what's going to be. And
my only rumor to come true.
Yeah.
And how obvious was that?
It was pretty obvious. Everyone kind of had an idea of something. They showed us the gameplay, and I was actually a little bit disappointed. I'm excited for the remake. Diamond and Pearl were pretty good games in my opinion. They were the better ones that I really liked.
Only ones I didn't play.
Oh, yeah, they're pretty good. A lot of people didn't play this one for some reason. I don't know if it was
from Diamond and Pearl on.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, that's sad. You got a lot to catch up on, kid.
I'm from Red and Blue on, so
yeah, your life's depressing. The thing I didn't like though is I thought that this would be a remake because Nintendo came off making Sword and Shield, which is like this fully 3D world, and before that they had Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, which was a complete remake of Blue and Red, which was a completely 3D world that was really cool. And then all of a sudden we're in this, and it's like a 3D world, but you still look like the little like sprite in the DS game. I don't know why that's that way, and I don't know if I don't think that's a big deal, but I kind of was hoping for like a full 3D version of the game.
Probably for the old nostalgia factor. I don't think they want to change it up so dramatically for people who have played the games to go back into it and be like, this is not what I remember at all.
Yeah, but then why not
you
just
have to take
go
a
play the
bit
original
of
at that point?
old.
Like,
well, I mean, they did the same.
You're introducing it to a whole new audience.
Yeah,
They
but
did the
I
same thing
mean,
with Link's Awakening, though. I mean, you can look at that and
yeah, but Link's Awakening, they made that like a completely different. Like that's, I get. I think the thing that's throwing me off is the remake of Red and Blue with Let's Go Eevee in that and Sword and Shield are different. Like if those didn't exist, I think I'd be like, oh, this is fine. But why didn't they give it the full treatment of a full 3D game? Why did they basically make this look like the same game just with a 3D engine instead of a 2D engine? Like...
let's go if that had come out, if Red and Blue had come out the same time as Diamond and Pearl or Black and White, Let's Go wouldn't have looked that much better.
Okay.
I think a lot of people are, I don't know, it looked really cute, but they did it in its completely own style.
Mm-hmm.
It's still a one-to-one world for the most part in comparison to like Red and Blue, though. It's not that much different.
Right.
All they did really is the Diamond and Pearl remakes almost look more, I think, modern. more mature than the Let's Go games. Like they, instead of looking bubbly and really shiny, they tried to keep it more traditional to what the I think originals looked like and just remaster it rather than remake it.
Mm-hmm.
So that, because think about them trying to make that full world 3D.
Yeah.
And compare it to something like Sword and Shield. Everything in Sword and Shield is linear. And that's the reason they haven't, like, think about the paths, the caves, everything, how big that world actually is.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess based the way that it is, it's got to be a particular way. I said, I don't think this, to me, I'm still going to buy it. Let's be real. This is not like, oh, this is a terrible decision. I was just a little caught off guard going, oh, I thought this would be something different. What did you guys, after seeing it, what do you think? Is this something that turns you away? Or you love it? You can't wait to play it? Jeff, does Jeff start playing Pokemon because of this? Is this anything?
I don't think it's gonna bring me in.
Why are you? So what is your reason you don't go into Pokemon games?
I never had a N64 or
Same.
a Wii U or a Wii or.
So now that you have a Switch, what's turning you off from trying them?
At least Sword and Shield.
I don't have like a legacy with the series that much, so it hasn't been something.
There's like 900
Pokemon,
dude, to catch up from Red and Blue till now.
Yeah,
it's overwhelming.
You don't need to go catch them all. Each game's a small segment.
And then I felt like they just added so many Pokemon that I was kind of like, I don't want to get involved in all that. It's just too much at this point.
Well, each game is like segmented though, so it's like there's generations. So this is, I think, what, 4th gen? I think is Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah. 4th gen.
And
I don't think this would be a good one to get back into it with. Not because of the generation, but because they did say if you go to the website that they're going to add a lot of the features from the newer games that they've been adding to help new players out. In other words, they're adding more hand-holding to the beginning of these remakes. That's the only thing they're changing. And that is
more hand-holding in a Pokemon game
right now. And there's actually more hand-holding than I thought there would be at the beginning of the game. So in my mind, I'm like, wait, they're adding more? This might be pretty painful.
Yeah, and I feel like I have so much Nintendo to catch up on. I kind of want to play more, I think, Zelda-style games. Like, I've been playing Breath of the Wild, before I get into, like, the Pokemon. Because I don't want to say Pokemon's geared towards a younger audience, but like all the hand holding, that Mike mentioned, like I don't know. It is a little bit of a turnoff. Like I'd rather play Final Fantasy or something a little more mature, I guess.
It's interesting that you say that before it's going to move on to the last part of this whole thing.
Let's revisit it on the next topic.
Yeah. So the next game, or the last game of this little direct that Nintendo put out, is a very adult looking Pokemon game, and this
one looks interesting.
It is like a Breath of the Wild stealthish, like adult-ish Pokemon game. And it takes place like in prehistoric Pokemon times, or Pokeballs are made out of wood. And there wasn't a ton revealed. They showed us walking around, but it's like a full open world, like actual 3D game, where it's not like a traditional style where it's stop and go, I guess. Like it looks like Breath of the Wild in a way. And I keep seeing people talk about that. And if that's the case, where I'm actually going out and I'm throwing Pokeballs physically at these things, that does sound pretty cool to me. Maybe that'll be one to try.
Maybe that could be the one.
Souls.
What's that, Mike?
I was saying for Zahi, it looks like you can you have a light roll in these games, just like in the Souls games. So I mean, you can just roll around the battlefield.
I know, right? I noticed that. I'm like, what is this?
Jeez, you start going to fireplaces to save Pokemon. The Pokemon roguelike.
Pokemon Souls.
Pokemon Souls game. Okay, so then we'll transition over outside of Pokemon.
Well, what did everyone think overall about the whole event?
Meh.
Just kind of meh.
I exploded.
With the 3 big showings. Yeah.
Oh, for Legends, this was
what got you to.
Is Pokemon Breath of the Wild. Put those two things together, yay. Actually, for the remakes too. I had been saying to some friends recently that like I thought the best thing they could do for those is just either go a completely different direction and not call them a remake, or just do a 1-to-1 remake, kind of like Link's Awakening, move on and just work on a better game. They decided to do both of those things, like completely different direction. Action RPG for maybe the older, more mature fans, and then a 1-to-1 remake for the younger fans who haven't gotten to play Gen 4.
I never did. I'd like to.
That's exciting. I think both announcements were awesome. They were exactly what I would have been looking for. And there's a lot of disagreements around the community.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's making both type of player happy. I mean, you got to take care of your, like you said, the new people, and they're hand holding them a little bit.
Your core audience.
That's helping, but then their original fans are aging. I mean, we're all in our 30s now, getting there at least, and you don't really want the hand holdy like Mike was talking about with his. So I do think having this adult or more adult-like game is going to be something that'll be helpful, more popular, I think, with us. Plus, it's more things. They're not taking away something. They're not, they gave us the remake that we all wanted and some more. So I was pretty happy with that. But overall, like we were saying, I don't know if this was like the most exciting thing to see, because they didn't really give us. It was more of a teaser, and I think that's a 2022 game too, isn't it? The open world one.
Yes, they announced it for 2022.
So it's still kind of far out, and who knows? It could be canceled. So I don't even want to get excited, because there's so many things. It's like they show us that stuff, and then like you never see the light of day with it. So
yeah, I think Pokemon Company, I think, is
fairly consistent.
Yeah, they just kind of stick to things. They'll push it out. Kind of no matter what people think of it too. So
that's true.
I'm pretty confident we'll see it. I wouldn't be surprised if it got delayed till holiday 2022 or 2023. Can I add one more thing in to this?
Yeah,
and it's not just about Pokemon. It's about the Switch in general. So the lineup now for beginning of 2022 is looking like possibly the Breath of the Wild sequel, because that's gotten pushed out. Then, and it would be exactly 5 years from when the first one came out. Then you got Pokemon Breath of the Wild for beginning of 2022. You've got Splatoon 3 for beginning of 2022.
That's true too.
3 huge IPs for them. And all of the Switch Pro rumors, which, looking at the frame rate in this presents, it was bad.
It was.
It was rough.
Off for Splatoon 3, it looks like there's a lot more polish in that game than on the current one, so it might be tougher to run. And then you think of Breath of the Wild. I mean, right from the bat, had frame rate issues on the Switch. So you think 3 big titles there that could benefit from a little bit more power, all coming out at the same time on the 5-year anniversary of the Switch launching. I think that's and they haven't denied at this point this year that the idea of better Switch hardware coming. They've even talked about it in investor calls. And to have those three launch titles on, it's not necessarily a new console, but it's like a pro version. So 3 titles to launch with it that they could say, hey, these will play, 1080p 60 in handheld, and maybe, upscale to 4K with DLSS on your TV.
Oh, don't get me excited.
I know.
That would be so nice.
I just wanted to throw it out there. It's speculation. But like,
you heard it here first, though, guys.
Really
Mike from
setting
on Link Cable Gaming.
Well, they're setting themselves up well to.
They definitely are.
Have that.
And the Switch is still selling so well. Like from their perspective, maybe they don't even need a Switch 2 or anything. Like just
a pro model.
They should though.
What's doing good? Let's just keep it going.
Mm-hmm. I think just go with the pro model. Say, hey, all of these games still play on your other Switch. You're gonna play it at 720p 30 in handheld on your old Switch, and 1080 30 on the TV, or you can get this new one and play it 1080p 60 in handheld, 4K 30 or whatever on your TV.
That would be so nice.
It would be
I could play
awesome.
All these games up res, because like the Switch has just so many games that are just. It's nice to have the option to play it handheld, but I hate that having the handheld option is. It's nice you have it on TV and handheld, but the TV version just doesn't compete with like Trials of Mana. We're talking about this. It's also on PS4 and PC. It looks so much better on those other consoles.
Runs better.
But it's like, you either have to choose, do I want the ability to have handhold, or do I want the ability to just have the best looking graphics? Like, I hate having that be the choice. Like, why does there got to be a negative side of it? Why can't it just be, I pick Switch because I get handheld and really good looking graphics? I'm not even looking for crazy 4K. Like, if it came out at 1080 30 frames, I'd be fine. But a lot of times it can't even do that.
Yeah,
and Dragon Quest XI is another, I think, example of that.
Oh yeah.
Yep. I purposely didn't look at YouTube videos that had like PS4 Pro or PC of that game, because I knew I would look at my Switch and be like, oh man.
But having the handheld version of it in that game, I think the handheld does stack up, because you have long play sessions. Sometimes you want to play in bed or play laying down or on the couch or take it with you. Like, it is nice to have that. So it's tough. It's tough. But okay, I think has anyone spoken their piece, or has everyone spoke their piece about this direct? We can jump into the Sony one. Peace. All right. So Sony had their version of the direct, which they called their State of Play, and this one was pretty short.
None of my predictions came through on that one. That was very disappointing.
I don't remember if they told us a time limit of this one. I know that sometimes they do, and
like
sometimes
half hour.
It was I think about a half hour.
It was a bit.
I think 26 minutes.
Yeah, there was a lot of extended game trailers and extended interviews with like developers. I have this may not be in the right order, but I'm just gonna start off from the way they have it.
It was so
you did get a couple
boring.
What's that?
We did get a couple of release dates, which was more of the new information.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Oddworld on April 6th.
Yeah, I think
Crash Bandicoot 4.
Yeah, Crash
for
Bandicoot
March
4
12th.
PS5 version was I think the first thing they opened up with. Was that right? Or one of the first things. They talked about Crash Bandicoot 4 coming out on the PS5, which is also coming out on the Switch, which is, they didn't mention that here, but that's cool to know.
Hyperlight Drifter in 2021.
Do you have to pay for the upgrade? Because I have Crash Bandicoot 4.
I do not believe this one. I think this one you didn't have to, because I know.
Yeah, it says the upgrade's free.
Because I think the other one is for. I think there's a free upgrade coming for Tony Hawk as well from Activision. I believe that one doesn't have one either. I think that was what they announced, so I would assume they do the same.
That's good.
But this one will have adaptive triggers and DualSense features with the new controller, and the game's gonna be running at 4K 60, which is pretty awesome. I've been waiting to get that game just because I've just been so busy with other things. So I'm very excited that it'll be a PS5 game I can play now. They also talked about Deathloop, which is a big part of it. I know this is kind of out of order. They gave us a whole new trailer with
Deathloop. It looks so good, but the gameplay looks so bad.
I think the gameplay looks very okay. The trailer looked credible though. They really the song was really cool.
Yep.
The style of the game, but I just don't know if it's gonna be a great. I feel like they've been feeding us things that are not the game for such a long time, trying to build hype.
Yeah,
and it's like their marketing team is genius.
This thing?
But I'm scared.
That's what worries me with a game like that is when they try
so hard
that hard to feed it to you, and you know it's going to be an online thing.
I just
for the most part. It's
know.
like they're just. It sounds like they're trying to make it a moneymaker rather than a good experience.
Absolutely.
I could be wrong, but it's. I don't know. Though I get turned off when a game is shown too much.
I don't want to get cyberpunked with this one.
Yeah,
because it's basically what it is. It's just too much good stuff, and the actual thing is not as good as it looks. So. I don't know. We got a release date. I don't know if they had announced that before or if this was the time they did, but May 21st of this year. So it's coming here.
Yeah.
PS5.
Finally, at least something.
It got pushed back. This is a new release date, but it was supposed to be launch window.
Was it April?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It was supposed to be. Wasn't it not supposed to be on last gen as well?
I don't remember. I feel like I've been hearing about this game for so long, and I'm just like I'm losing interest in it because it's like.
No,
it just seems like
it wasn't supposed to be last gen. It was supposed to be cross-platform, and now it's a Sony exclusive.
Oh, is it? No, it's PS5 also, but I think it's on Epic Game Store. Is it?
It's the other way. It'll probably end up. It's a timed exclusive for PS4.
Yeah. If I remember right, it was supposed to come to Xbox as well, but then it changed marketing to as an exclusive Sony.
Yeah,
timed exclusive.
Because now, I mean,
yeah, it says will be a timed PS5 exclusive.
Yeah.
So Xbox technically will own them in another month.
Yeah, which is even more awkward.
So the longer they delay the less exclusivity they might have.
Because it says the deal only goes to mid 2021 for the exclusivity. So
that's right.
So it's like, well,
it was original.
I forgot about that. That's a good point, Mike. That's awkward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The next game, or another game we'll talk about, is creepy and awkward, and I have no interest in this at all. Is Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach.
I was just gonna say, actually, it looked like
stupid. It
was like Outlast mixed with Five Nights at Freddy's, and I'm like,
I just played the first Five Nights at Freddy's probably a few months ago. No, I didn't love it, but this game, it's amazing to me to see this series come this far from that first game. I just think it's pretty cool just that they're even making something like this.
And it's being showed at a state of play.
Yeah,
that game has such a I feel like a strong fan base that just talks about it a lot, and I think this will be good for people that like that series.
To me, it just it's such a childish I know a lot of younger people like Five Nights at Freddy's because it is like a scary thing, but it's also not. Sometimes you say scary, it automatically becomes adult-like. It's it's murder, blood, and shit. This is spooky, scary of children toys coming to get you, kind of. Children So it is weird, but it's
cartoonishly scary, but not scarily cartoonish.
It's not offensively scary, grotesque. So a child can be scared by it and still not be terrified. Which I don't know, it could be because they are pretty freaky, but it's weird to see it getting this well of a polished graphical style. It'd be if we took like Bob the Builder and put it into a real first-person shooter game with it just seems weird. It's two worlds mashing up that don't usually get mashed up. Childlike cartoon game with adult first-person looking.
It's it's like weird. Outlast meets Five Nights at Freddy's. It's like a Five Nights at Freddy's skin for Outlast is how I'm considering it.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting.
I don't know
if I'll play it, but
I don't think I'm touching this, but I'll never say never. Jeff, you said you're not looking forward to this.
No, I mean, yeah.
Nobody else up there. Zahi, Mike, you gonna play?
Not really.
It looks
it's not actually. I'm not huge into the scary games, I guess, so probably not for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like horror games, and if it's able to scare the pants off me, I don't care what format it is in.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think it has a place, and I think it'll do well in its place.
Exactly.
Then we've got a multiplayer dodgeball game that, to me, Just seems like it's a come and go type of game.
You play an audible fart noise for that game?
Yeah.
I feel this one of those games that they market it. I feel like they have to do it because they have to have it for some
Knockout
reason.
City, baby.
And
I wish it was
so
free.
fantastic.
If it was free,
Yeah, it's $20. Like, what are you doing? Why would you charge for this game? It says Knockout City was also announced in Nintendo Direct. It's going to be on PS4 May 21st for $20 and have backwards compatibility enhancements for PS5. But why would this just doesn't? It looks so generic.
You know it's gonna have cosmetics all over the place.
And
I want to try it because the studio isn't too far from me. They're not a big, they're a small indie studio.
That's kind of cool, at least.
That is cool. I'll give them credit for that.
I would love to try this game out. Make it free, at least for like the first month. Like make it a free thing in PS Plus.
I could see this being a PS Plus game.
I could see a lot of these games that we're talking about.
What was that game they just did for February that was kind of similar? I think.
Oh yeah,
Destruction All Stars.
Yeah, I could see this being like that.
I could too. And there's a good possibility.
More like Crapstruction All Stars.
There's even
I did not care for that game either, but
all they had to do was
it was free.
Burned.
It was free. So
Twisted Metal. They would have had a better game.
That's all they had to do.
Twisted Metal, and they're like,
literally all they had to do.
Instead.
There's so many.
That's what I started.
I hate that game. I gave it a 4. And I'm like, that's too good for you. That's too good for this game. That game crashed and burned. It did not wear a seatbelt.
But like this, I tried that game for maybe an hour, and I didn't like it, and I moved on. Like, if this game was free, this Knockout City, I could maybe try it. I mean, it doesn't look like something I'd be interested in.
But I'll never buy it.
I would never buy this game, right? And I think that's, if they don't make it free somehow,
it's going to be free. This is going to be a free PS Plus game. It has to be. If it doesn't,
buy, rent, or own, like this is rent. This is like back shelf rent.
And like it really seems strange to me that they decided to put this with all these other heavy hitters that they have in this, 25-minute thing. They decided to put Knockout City here. Like, there has to be some angle that they're trying to get this game out there to be known, so that way when it is free on PS Plus, people are like, oh, I heard about that. Yeah, I want to try it out.
Yeah, and there's microtransactions. I can dress up as something stupid. I don't know.
I forgot who's actually publishing it, because the developer's small, but the publisher might be bigger, which might be where the marketing money is coming from to really push it.
It was like Ubisoft or something. Like, I
thought it was
EA.
Ubisoft.
It's EA.
Oh, it's EA. That's what it is.
Yeah, that could be it.
EA money.
Gross. Right. Cancel Anthem and make.
I was going to say Anthem had that EA money for marketing too.
All right, we're giving too much airtime for this game. It doesn't deserve it. Moving on. They announced another game called where's the name of it? I just saw it.
Silver?
Sifu, Sifu, S-I-F-U.
Sifu?
That looks interesting.
It's an interesting like action game,
it was
kung
like a
fu
beat 'em
type
up
thing. That does look pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw it. I was kind of like, okay.
I like
a little interested. Okay.
I did too. Like him becoming like a kung fu master. Like
yeah.
The fighting looked like different.
Yeah.
I think it was it first person? I don't remember, but
it was like the weird.
No, it was like third person.
Yeah, it's like that third person like fighting.
It's kind of like looks like you press buttons and he does like special moves and stuff. I don't know.
It's kind of neat because it looks like a cell shaded type thing, but it's like an artistic style that I think looks really neat, and I think it looks good.
It looks like it's like Streets of Rage, like a modern Streets of Rage.
Yeah,
could be a sleeper hit.
A great segment for this because they didn't show too much. They just gave you a little taste, said the name, moved on. They didn't try to overhype it, which makes me think it could be a good game.
It could be. So obviously wasn't too much about it. The next game, again, this is not the right order.
Instead of Knockout City.
So yeah, I wish this didn't do that at all. Solar Ash arrives on PS4 and PS5 this year, which is it's being described here as third-person action platformer featuring a major scale and a focus on fluidity and movement. This game, I don't know much about it. It looks beautiful though. I don't know if it's a game I would love, but it does have a lot of beautiful art, and it could be fun. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I can't remember the game. It's a follow-up to a different game.
Hyperlight Drifter?
Hyperlight Drifter, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
Ash looks... Yeah, Hyperlight Drifter.
It looks like the same art style as Haven.
That's exactly what
It's exactly the same art style, pretty much.
Yeah. The same art style.
It's the exact same thing.
I didn't even know there was a first... This was a sequel, or is it like a...
Spiritual successor.
Yeah,
It's the same developer, so yeah, just probably.
I never played that game, so
similar
exactly what I
movement and
said.
stuff.
I mean, it looks
the
beautiful.
game, it looks cool. Like I didn't
like
care
the
for Haven.
concept
I like
of it.
the Haven art style, so it
Yeah.
might be something. Maybe this wouldn't be a bad
PS Plus free
game of the month, Kevin. Yeah, or if it's free, that would help.
Yeah, that would also help with the game club. So.
I wonder how much Hyperlight Drifter is now, because that one could be one.
Yeah, I've heard of that game before, but I've never touched it before. I think I own it actually, because I know they've given it out for free places, even maybe on Epic.
It definitely doesn't look like this one.
No, it doesn't. No. I'm looking at pictures of it, and I remember why I passed on that. Okay, moving on. They had a big segment on Oddworld Soulstorm, which I feel like this game is just getting so much. I have nothing against this game. It does look okay, but as a side scroller game, I feel like there's just a limit to my excitement because I don't know how excited I can be for a game that's a side scroller because I feel like I have expectations that are gonna be exactly what the game is.
You haven't. Did you play the original?
I did. I played one. I played one on PlayStation. I don't remember which one it was.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was original or not.
Like Abe's Oddworld is. I am so hyped for that game.
I just don't know
was a bloody PlayStation classic.
How can a side scroller like this be that exciting? Like, what is it gonna do?
There's a lot to do in that game. There is so many different avenues, and Abe has to basically navigate his way around like literal death traps. It's like the Souls games of side scrollers.
Oh, maybe
it's
that's why I don't like
hard.
They kept having.
It's such a technically difficult game.
The 2.9D looked interesting.
Yeah, it's okay.
Mm.
I don't know. I'll probably if it's on like Game Pass or something, maybe.
Here.
I don't hate it. I just don't have any excitement for it.
That's one that I think they've shown off more than they need to.
Exactly. And the developers are talking about it again. It's like, I don't need to hear the developers talking about this for like the 5th time. Like, what else are you going to tell me that I don't know? It's a game that's side-scroller, and it's the spiritual successors to the old ones or something, and it's like, okay, well, that's cool. Then I feel like you've said enough. Let's just wait until it comes out and then talk about it. Cause,
when's this one coming out?
April 6th.
April, right? Yeah.
March or April?
April 6th. So it's not too far away. And
PS Plus game?
Yeah. I see this one being like, I think this also comes out on Xbox at the same time. Oh, actually, no. I did not read this. Furthermore, the PS5 version will be the PlayStation Plus game for April 2021. It's already been announced.
I did not know that.
Well, I'm more excited now because it's free.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's nice.
Wow. So, you know what? I take it back everything I said. I'll play it now because it's free.
If the feedback's good, maybe it's worth a shot.
I will play any piece of crap for free. That's how I am. I will at least try it for free. But frickin' Dodgeball game for $20, like, hell no. Stay away from me. Okay, moving on to Returnal, which is
I think we have, the last 3 big ones we have to talk about.
Returnal is a game they showed off a while back.
I'm so pumped for Returnal.
I was pumped for Returnal.
We saw it the first time together.
Yeah, I remember that.
We saw it the first
did a
time
live
together
feed
back
for
at
it.
the Microsoft Expo.
But I remember making fun of it because this is when the moon and all that, right? Where they were like coming back and forth or something.
No.
Yeah.
No,
it's like her memory.
What game was that?
No, the one with the moon is. Oh crap! And Pragmata.
Okay, you're right. You know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh yeah.
I remember this was in the same one. I think that Returnal and
it wasn't the same
were
one.
the same one at the same time too, right?
Yes, exactly,
okay.
exactly. Yes.
I remember kind of getting confused because the lady looks a little bit similar in my mind, even though they don't. But
that's right.
I remember being excited for
Pragmata
this.
is the one with the weird moon thing.
Yes, that's what that was.
This one was the one where she's like, it's like Aliens, where she's like crashing on the planet, and it's like all creepy shit.
It's a roguelike.
It's like, and it turned into like a devil. Yeah, it's a roguelike Devil May
that.
Cry-esque game, and I'm like, sold. I want to play this thing so badly.
But like the Devil May Cry part about it does get me excited because I think those are fun. But the fact that they want you to replay all this stuff and it's different, I'm not sold yet. But I don't hate it.
Writing it off.
You look at the popularity of Hades right now.
What's that?
Look at Hades right now. How
it's
well
true, and that game
it blows up.
I do find that game fun. It's a game I go back to every once in a while, but I can't play it for too long at once because it does kind of overwhelm me. So I know if this is anything like that, then maybe I would enjoy it. I mean, it looks beautiful. It looks really good, like graphically.
A PlayStation 5 exclusive. I'll wait for it.
Yeah, the visuals look great.
Returnal is actually high on my list. Returnal is really high on my list of PlayStation 5 games.
It does look nice. I don't know. Do you guys excited for it? What is your quick?
Very.
Yep, Dahi, yes. Mike.
Nah, I'm nah.
Yeah, I'm kind of here nor there on it. Just waiting to see you come out and see more about it before I get too excited. What kind of systems it has, what kind of narratives, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I did love myself some Hades, so.
I will say this is the best this looked to me after this trailer.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay, then the last semi-big one before the big announcement
second
to last before the big announcement, but last smaller one is Kena. I don't remember what it's pronounced. Kena Bridge of Spirits. Is it Kena?
So the devs, when they talked about it, said Kena.
Kena.
When the person on the state of play talked about it, she said Kena. I think it's Kena. That's what the devs said.
Yeah, they make it, and this other person's just.
I'll always stick with the devs say.
I'm excited.
I'm excited for this game too.
I'm excited for this one.
This one looks really fun, really good, really like just something I can easily get into. There's magic. It's got the type of stuff I like. It's PS5 and PS4.
I like the
story looks cool.
Yeah, the story looks cool. The graphics look good. Like, I don't know, it looks like a Pixar movie, like you're living through, which kind of seems fun.
Yeah.
The only negative.
I love the decaying look to the environment, and the decaying look to the organic environment. It looks like the nature itself has been is itself decaying, and I love that kind of feel like it's slowly wilting away almost. I think that's a really.
It looks beautiful.
Princess Mononoke forest spirit feel, and I can't wait.
I don't even know what the hell you just said. What was that? Princess
Mononoke. It's an amazing movie, Kevin. I don't know if you want to watch an anime movie or not.
No, I would definitely.
Princess Mononoke, check it out.
Exactly, man. It has so hardcore vibes of Princess Mononoke.
Ship you a copy. I have 5.
Wow, you really like this thing. I was getting vibes from Cameo, the Elements girl.
You're right. Yeah,
that's
and
what
Cameo as well.
I thought that the first time I saw it, and I still think that, and I love Cameo. I'm a big sucker for Elements. The Last Airbender is just my life. I've watched the series probably 5 or 6 times through. Anything Elements wise gets me. And Cameo is all about elements, and this looks like Cameo, so I'm hoping some type of fun of that puts into this. I don't know. The only negative that I was kind of say is it did get pushed to August 24th. They didn't have an official release date, but everything had been saying Q1 of 2021. So it's a little bit longer. You have to get through the summer now to kind of play it, but it'll be there.
I read that COVID really affected this one.
Yeah, which sucks.
It sucks because there was a lot of rumors, the week leading up to the state of play.
Yes.
That they were going to make that the game of the month for March.
Yes, I saw the same thing a couple times.
Yes.
And then I was holy crap, this is it.
I know.
I wish.
I was so pumped.
I wish.
That would have been my March game. I had no questions asked. That would have been my March game to play.
I'm before we jump into the last game, I'm a little surprised there wasn't Ratchet and Clank talk, because that's coming out now in June.
I will save that. I will save that for after we finish the last one. I will. Okay. I would like to talk very briefly about.
Sure. All right, so we can jump into this last one then. So the last big thing they start showing us is, and I'm still confused by this. When I watched this, I didn't even know what I was looking at. I thought this was the next episode of the
so angry.
So they started showing us Final Fantasy VII, the same game that was released last year, and then they start showing new content of a new character, 2 new characters, I believe, that are being played. And I'm thinking this is the next episode of Final Fantasy VII, because I don't know much about Final Fantasy VII. I haven't played the remake or the original.
Oh baby!
So I thought that this is the next part, which makes sense because everyone said there's multiple parts to this because it's such a big game, and it's not. This is a DLC for the first one.
It's part 1. Yeah. Is this part 1.5? This is naturally where Yuffie technically, organically would have joined the party.
Okay.
Is almost close to being outside of Midgar.
Okay.
So I think what they're doing, so the remake is a remake, and it's definitely taking a different approach to its story. So what they're doing is you would normally meet Yuffie the second you leave Midgar, and the end of Remake is you leaving Midgar. So I think what's going to happen is they're introducing Yuffie more organically into the story as 1.5, and then leading into episode 2 of the Final Fantasy VII Remake. So I think episode 2 is going to start off with Yuffie already being in your party. So I think this is just more of a prelude to 2 than it is anything else. Like that, I don't think you have not played Final Fantasy VII Remake. Kevin, have you guys?
I have not.
I just picked it up and was ready to start playing it, and then they showed this off.
Beautiful.
So
Yep.
I'll wait.
That's how I feel too.
Because I don't know if the upgrade it's not free for this.
So
Yeah.
that is what I am mega pissed about. Why is the upgrade not available? You're giving the game as a PS Plus game. If it's the PlayStation 4 game, why not just automatically update it to the PS5 version? What is that?
Well, Mike,
that is seriously
and I paid for it.
Well,
for
Mike,
the PS5.
yes, you and I, because you have the digital version though. You just bought.
Yeah, if you had the disc, you get it. I paid for it digitally. I haven't even touched it yet. I wonder if I can ask for a refund. I don't think enough people will.
I think you can do it. I think that the digital version from PS Plus, they might. I wonder if they name it something different.
It's not the PS Plus one. I paid for it.
No, I know. But I'm saying is so Zahid, let's say he's got a PS5, right, and he gets the free version. You have to pay, I think, $30 to upgrade to the PS5 version, right? If you buy it outside of PlayStation Plus, which you did, right? You bought it digitally. I believe there's a complicated way. PS5. We've already said how bad they are at talking about these upgrades. I
think you do get it automatically.
I do think you get that for free because the physical versions you have, because I have the physical disc, I get it for free. I know that. Yes. I would go back and look and see. Like there's got to be like a chart that says if you do this, you get this. If you get this,
yeah, I'll have to figure it out.
Almost positive
I think you do get it. Yeah.
You know what?
Because I feel like they were using it, the whole Yuffie edition, similar to how they did Miles Morales, where they're not saying like, oh, you're not just paying an upgrade fee for the remaster, you're getting this DLC. Kind of like they did with Spider-Man. They're adding a little bit more than just remastering or just upping the graphics.
Why is this so complicated, Mike?
to pay for it.
Yeah, I think.
My dude, if this was the Xbox, I don't know a single game that has this much issues.
Yeah, smart delivery.
Why, like?
Yeah, it looks that way.
The way I kind of interpret it is, if you own it on PS4, you'll get the enhancements, but you won't get the extra DLC, quote unquote. But if you just buy it,
fine with that.
If you buy the PS5 version outright, you'll get everything as one package. And then if you just get it on PS Plus, you get nothing.
The free one. Why? What?
Well, they gotta make their money.
What is the difference between giving me
and then people will get hooked.
gigs, man?
People get hooked.
Bogus.
Yeah, it's a really odd way to do this, and it's like what Kevin said with the Hitman thing. Like, why overcomplicate something? Just make it easy.
Because they just want to make money.
Just give me the PS5 version if you are already doing. If you're giving the PS4 version, there is no difference.
Because I think they're giving you the gateway drug. They're saying, here's a free version of this one, and then you have a PS5, and you're like, you know what? I never would have played this game, but I played it and I really like it, and I'm like an hour or 2 hours in. Yeah, maybe I will spend that $30. It's already here. I'm already playing it. Now it's easy to just spend money.
With
I think that's the idea.
right now.
But it works. That's the problem. Like, people are gonna do it. Like, yeah, it sucks for people like you and I who kind of play a lot of games, and it's like, it sucks. But a lot of people don't like. I have a lot of friends that are the majority of gamers. Let's just say, like, most people I know that are not the four of us who play a ton of games, talk about on podcasts and stuff. They buy like 4 games a year, and then all these free ones come in, and they only play these because they're free. My buddy Eric, he only plays these free games. He doesn't buy anything. The only thing he bought ever is Call of Duty, and then he buys NHL. That's it. But he gets all these free games. That stupid driving destruction game, he loves that game. He keeps trying to get me to play with him, and I downloaded it. I hate it. But to him, he might try Final Fantasy VII. Like, he has no idea what Final Fantasy is. He has no idea there's like a legacy of 7. He has no idea about these upgrades for systems. But if you give him a free game and then all of a sudden put on the screen, oh, by the way, you could upgrade for $30. Oh, yeah, maybe I'll do it. I've already started. You got me hooked.
So what about like someone like myself? Like if I play the PS Plus version now on my PS4 and I buy a PS5 in August, can I just pay money and my save will transfer, or like do I have to buy a whole new game?
They did say that. So I was reading it while you guys were talking before. So it just says the PS Plus game will be blocked from doing the free upgrade. If you buy it right now,
you just pay for it.
Yeah, if you get it from PS Plus, and that's
save transfers though.
What's that?
I thought they were still having issues with save transfers from the PS4 to the PS5.
They are. I lost all my PS4 saves.
Well, it depends on, as long as you have them backed up to the cloud, because the PS4 doesn't always back up to the cloud automatically. That's a different issue.
Hopefully by August they'll fix it.
Because the PS4 originally didn't auto back your clouds. You have to manually go in and turn your games on at certain points, because I had that issue with a few games too. But going from PS4 to PS5 isn't too bad, because I've had, like, I'm playing Stick of Truth on both. I guess, that doesn't count because it's not a PS5 game for it. I wonder if there's something I can think of that has both versions. As far as I know, it should work, but you're right. They could be having issues. I know they're not as.
I know just doesn't, because it's a remastered.
Yeah,
it's a whole nother mess.
So yeah, technically they're like, nope, just can't do it.
It says right here, Final Fantasy Remake integrated announced yesterday with save game transfer for those who bought Final Fantasy VII Remake on PS4. So they do claim to have it. Will it work? That's a different issue.
Well, maybe this could get me to play it. I guess the PS Plus one.
Yeah,
I would agree.
At the very least,
and upgrading and all that. But I guess if I just play it on PS4, I'm safe.
Yeah, at the very least, you get it for free.
It was
PS4
my
version, which is still good.
Yeah,
but
it was
then
my second game of 2020, and it was a really good game. I would hardcore recommend it. Beat it all the way through. Great Final Fantasy title.
And then, like, my head scratcher on this was great. They ended it with it. They had all these upgrades and stuff, but then they didn't say it was coming for PS Plus until
after.
So, like, why not just throw it in there as part of it? Like, just hit it home. I don't know.
They also delayed Gran Turismo. Just one other thing.
Yes, that's
that
true.
Sucks.
Yeah, I heard about that.
No, it's supposed to be a launch title game, and now it's delayed till 2022. But they always delay those, so.
Yeah, and they usually end up turning out pretty good. So.
Yep.
So yeah, what did Well, we're going on to 2 hours here. Start losing my thought. Yeah, what was everyone's thoughts on this? What did you think, and then what did you think versus the Nintendo Pokemon one?
I was very disappointed in the state of play.
Yeah, I texted you at the beginning of the state of play, Kevin. God of War bust, so I think you know what I think.
God of War bust, Elden Ring bust, Sly Cooper bust,
Horizon
Zero Dawn
bust, Last of Us 2 multiplayer,
everything
I wanted to see.
Oh my God, did you read my article?
Read your article.
My hero, yes. That is something that definitely needs to come there. They announced that it was going to be coming, and this would have been a perfect time to do it. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, man, I agree.
Like no Last of Us multiplayer. Man, what was the state of play? Nothing.
Deathloop. I think it's basically Deathloop for 4 hours.
I think Sony saw the whole Pokemon news coming in this week. They got wind of it, and they're like, we can't talk about anything big right now because it's going to be overshadowed either way by this behemoth 25-year-old monster that like Pokemon. Right now for Pokemania, for the people who are into it, it's the first time it's been as big as it is since the 90s. Mm-hmm. The card game right now,
blowing up.
You can't
online card game.
Go to the store. Like I don't even buy them, but I like just because I've been hearing about it so much. The last couple times I've gone to the store, I just like walk past that aisle of cash registers. Nothing. Hasn't been anything there for like weeks because the day they get them in, they're sold out.
Yeah, I went to that game store. I bought all that crap from I was showing off. They have a whole section for Pokemon cards that are mint. They have them in like glass containers, and there were 3 guys there, and they were passing them out, and they had to stand there and watch them because they could take them and run. They were showing like $300 Blastoise, and they had the prices, and they have I forgot the rating system, what that's called, but they had the numbers on it. They had a 9, and this PSA. One guy was like, "Oh wow, yeah, PSA," and it was. I couldn't believe how many people were there. These were like grown men that are there. It's not like kids doing this. Like, I remember doing this. It was like a fun game to play with your friends. Now these 30-year-olds are all just doing it to just off.
I need to ask my mom where my Pokemon collection is.
Dude,
Yeah,
it's not
huge.
I sold mine at a garage sale. Like,
Oh,
I was like 12.
shame.
Sold them all for like, I think my entire collection for like $10.
Oh.
That collection would probably be worth like
the guy that
$700 now at least.
the guy that Bitcoin at 1,000 or something.
I don't know if you've ever seen Mike, but there's a guy who does work with Link Cable with us, Brandon, who's on podcasts and videos and things.
I did.
I
watched the Pokemon episode.
Oh yeah. Did you see that first edition
Gym
giant
Challenger first edition?
I can't believe it. He's like, I'm not gonna sell it right now. I'm like, you need to sell this and buy a new house. How much
those go for?
It's like a $20,000 booster box.
Yeah.
He has it in the wrapping still.
Yeah,
you can get booster box cases, and he should get one.
We looked at it online. They were going for like $60,000 Canadian when he was looking at it.
And that case is like $10. He should get it.
Yeah.
Because that thing is worth so much.
Yeah, we nearly lost our minds.
Help preserve it even more.
Crazy.
Ooh.
I know.
Yeah, if he has any kids or anything, that's like the start of their college tuition.
Shit, retirement for him. But overall, my state of play thoughts were it was okay. I wasn't super excited about there was nothing nothing for right now, which I think I thought that Kina game was coming out sooner, so I was a little excited, but having it finally see a date for August was a little disappointing. Final Fantasy's fun, but I love and hate these games that keep coming out with the PS5 enhancements, but I hate that they're so far out because it's like I have all these games in my head like, okay, the order of what I'm going to play, and Final Fantasy VII was one of the ones I was going to jump into, but now they put this in front of me saying, oh yeah, but in July or June or whatever, you're going to be able to play it in PS5. I'm like, well, of course I'm going to wait. I don't want to play it on the crappy old shit. Like, I want to play the new shit.
Exactly.
So it kind of sucks, but it is exciting. So I was very about it.
How do you end your show on a game that's already out that's just going to get enhancements? Like,
I mean, there's the new DLC thing, which is big.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Dude, I feel you, but
it just wasn't big to me.
Man, Jeff, I was unimpressed, my friend.
Yeah.
So just for fun, I found. Sorry to cut back in. This is a non-first edition version of of the same booster box he has.
Yeah.
Sealed, going for 13,000 right now.
For the non-first edition.
The non-first edition. I can't even find a first edition one listed anywhere.
Yeah, they're so rare.
Like 100,000 or something.
Yeah, it's probably
no. There were some that were going for that much because that's what who's the streamer guy that was opening all the cards?
Here's a first edition one, 20,000.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it is going for 20. But the base set, first edition base set booster box, the most recent one it sold for is 300,000, I think.
Jesus Christ, that's so
I think
crazy.
The whole thing. This all blew back up when what's the YouTuber?
That's what I was saying. There was a streamer that did it.
The Disney Channel kid, Jake Paul or the other one of the Paul brothers.
Aaron Paul
is doing Pokemon cards now, and I don't know if it's Logan or Jake, but they opened they did a $2 million card opening because they opened like 6 or 7 of these booster boxes on their channel.
It's so funny that I remember like 20 years ago being made fun of because I'm playing Pokemon. I was like, I remember I had my first communion and I got a bunch of money for it. And I kept telling my mom I wanted to use the money to buy Pokemon cards, and she was so mad at me and like, that's not what that money's for. And I worked a deal out where I would use some of her Pokemon cards, and I'm gonna be like, Mom, I wish I would have bought more. I could have used all that money from my first communion and used it towards Pokemon cards. I'd have more money now. It just sucks. Never thought it would be like this, but
crazy.
It is what it is. So, all right, I think that wraps up our crazy episode here. It was a big week with news, with all these showcases and directs and whatever you call it. So, Jeff, thanks for joining us as our special guest. Mike, thanks for joining us as our special guest again, and for going through the interview process with us before this. We gotta
be sure to check that out.
Yeah, we gotta get a better name for that interview. It just seems like everyone's like trying to work here or something. Like, I hate saying that, but I don't know what the right deep dive. Drill deep and wide into them or something like that. That sounds bad.
Oh, no, that's not it.
That can't be it. So, thank you guys for joining us. We will have, I'm sure, tons of... this was like our full week of Nintendo or Pokemon stuff on the website. So we've had tons of those come out. So definitely go out and check out at linkkablegaming.com. There's been some interesting articles. We talked about some of our favorite party of Pokemon. We talked about things, what they should improve on Pokemon-wise and their franchise and what they've missed. And I wrote a pretty interesting article about what they missed, and you guys should check that out.
And if you guys like old school like gaming show and tell, your guys' Instagram is awesome. I love
a lot of that.
I think Alex does, I would assume, a lot of that based on everything I see.
Yep.
And he absolutely, like, he has everything you could want to see in like gaming show and tell. So
yes, he loves the show and tell.
I set up the Instagram account with Kevin. And I'm like, Kevin, you have a whole bunch of merch, man. Just start posting stuff. He's like, I know who's gonna ever want to like watch this stuff. I'm like, you are wrong. You are very wrong. I'm like, people want to see photos of these things actually being alive and living things. I'm like, you have a bunch of weird shit, my dude. This is like Rule 34 for your collection.
All right, guys. Well, thank you all for being here. Thanks for sticking through the 2-hour show we had. We will see you next week for episode 36 and whatever comes with that. So have a good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Peace out, everyone.